Hi, this is Jim Chilton. I am the founder and CEO of the Society for Financial Awareness here in San Diego. And today we just have a terrific opportunity. I'm meeting here with Bill Koba. Bill, thank you very much for spending a couple of minutes with us.
You're welcome, Jim.
Bill is the superintendent of San Diego Unified. And Bill, as I shared with you during April Financial Literacy Month, you know, this idea of financial literacy in the schools is 2 points in my mind. It's almost non-existent, unfortunately. And the other one is when you were talking about this book that you have introduced to the students in San Diego. Take a moment and tell us a little bit about this book and what the purpose of it is, please.
Okay, sure, Jim. A number of years ago, through the good work of a community group as well as some of our staff, we identified the need for promoting financial literacy in a more formal classroom setting way than had been previously done. In fact, the book that I'm referring to is something called Financial Literacy, The Game of Life Student Handbook. And it begins with a retired judge now who headed a bankruptcy court for a number of years and witnessed firsthand the coming and goings of young people in financial difficulty. He came together with our staff, recognized the fact that in the state of California we don't have a hardcore requirement to do any type of financial literacy instruction in high school. With the absence of that very important need, the judge and our staff came together, wrote this book, and use it today as part of a high school curriculum. We reach out to almost the entire senior class, but not quite 100%. And it's a very streamlined, well-paced instruction that takes a young person through the important aspects of managing your money. We get into issues of checkbooks, buying cars, taking out loans, understanding credit, what your commitments are as a young person,
yes,
leaving school, going into a adult, unsupervised environment.
Let me ask you this. I have 5 children now. They've all graduated from college. That burden, I think, is finally now off of my back. And why do you think financial literacy across the country is not part of a curriculum for developing young people into adults? I mean, look at our country and look at the mess with money and debt and everything else. What's your take on that?
Well, I think a couple of things stand out. One is the curriculum in middle and high school is just packed with a number of courses viewed as academic requisites for moving on into college and into a career, but they deal with the basic cores of math, sciences, foreign languages.
Absolutely.
And educators and the community in general has felt those are the prereqs for life. But quite frankly, as we've moved through a period of time, the last couple of decades, where the access to funds, loans, credit cards has become so easy and unlimited in terms of the ability of people to take out monies regardless of your past financial history.
How about mortgages and the subprime meltdown?
Absolutely. What we find is that the vulnerabilities or risks to young people have grown as a result of the availability of funds without the due diligence to safeguard and instruct young people on those funds. So we've pressurized a situation, a real life situation, where young people haven't been taught what to do with their financial resources and need that more than ever.
Oh, you know, I was at a conference in Minneapolis a couple of months ago, and I found out from a very learned gentleman that 1 out of 50 states in this country, the state of New Jersey, has, when you use the term hardcore, I just required, a required part of that critical thinking of the development of the youth, a required financial curriculum on money, cash management. You know, probably the same things that you're talking about in this book. But isn't that a little bit, if we're standing back from the big picture looking down, isn't that mind-blowing? 1 out of 50 states has that?
Absolutely. I think it's surprising and unsettling rolled into one.
Well, You know, one of the things when I founded SOFA in 1993 that just blew me away was we're raising generation after generation after generation of financial illiterates. I'm not trying to be disingenuous, and I'm not trying to say people are stupid, not hardly. But the reality is we learn from our parents if we don't learn it in school. Mm-hmm. And where did our parents learn that kind of stuff? From their parents. Right. And it just continues on, and we now look at this overwhelming financial meltdown in this country, starting with our financial institutions and our, you know, the other day, I don't know if most people realize this, we're sitting here in the summer of 2012, Apple, Bill Gates' company, Steve Jobs' company, has more money in cash than the United States Treasury. That seems kind of odd.
Mind-boggling.
Yeah, we have 51% of the people in this country paying taxes, 49%. Yet we have all these benefits and all this stuff. And so it was such a phenomenal pleasure to meet you when you came out to speak at our meeting that evening and volunteered to talk about this. Is there anything else, Bill, if you could speak out to different superintendents across the country about the need for the kids to somehow wiggle into these kind of courses that are before they go out into the college arena? Is there any statement you'd like of them to hear from maybe even your own personal opinion or San Diego Unified as you see it about financial literacy and where we're headed?
Well, I think that the decision for us to create a financial literacy course was absolutely the right thing to do. As we reflect back over the last few years, we put this into being even before the discussion of the $1 trillion debt ceiling in the United States, even before we learned that college debt was running rampant, even before the most current numbers about car loans and credit cards. And
yeah, let's be very clear here. Student loans have surpassed automobile and credit card debt combined.
That's right.
Yeah, and a lot of these kids are graduating from college with no jobs.
And six-digit debt service. So we did this before the most current, really disturbing numbers came up. My only wish is we had begun a decade earlier to have created that much more educated graduate grouping coming out of San Diego Unified. I think for educators, superintendents, we need to reflect on, are we teaching Life 101 as well as 4 years of math, English, sciences, and so on through our high school system? And I'm a firm believer that Life 101 course, maybe we translate it into financial literacy and a couple of other key pieces, should in fact be a core curriculum course for any student coming into our high school system to prepare them for a world that is increasingly uncertain, one that's ever more flat, one that our young people will have a great deal more of a competitive, uneven environment to live and work in than those of us that came before them. They just simply need to be as prepared as possible in life skills, savvy about what the world is all about, and how to deal with options they have in career and college. And this Life 101, as seen through financial literacy, is a must-do.
Thank you. I think my last point. There's an organization, as you well know, called Junior Achievement. And Junior Achievement, I was struck by the fact that they looked in the business community for volunteers to come into the classes and work with these kids for a brief period of time. And their number one and number two thing was ending financial illiteracy by talking about financial literacy, and the message they're looking for business people in their communities with an entrepreneurial spirit. And then their third thing is getting people ready to go out beyond school into the real world for work readiness.
Right.
And I just, because as we've spent our time trying to finally get together to do this, we just recently, about 2 weeks ago, just finished putting together a synergistic program between the members of SOFA and Junior Achievement in this country. So our members will be, going to those local offices, like in San Diego, we have BizTown.
Right.
Can you tell us just a smidge of what's going on with San Diego Unified and Junior Achievement?
Well, I think that we would like to create a greater partnership with Junior Achievement. We do teach business as a theme focused course in a couple of our high schools. We actually have a little bit of reflection in that area in middle and elementary, but business as a theme, entrepreneurial, joint venture, a focus in that area is an important alternative career college option for kids.
Yes.
And Junior Achievement helps to promote an awareness,
Yeah.
a sophisticated understanding for young people
Yes.
about business. And I think that's a great thing.
And one of the things that I see that tied together in that is you talked about this book from a retired judge. Junior Achievement was created by some business people looking on the young people and going, oh my gosh, we've got to put this kind of ingredients into the schools.
Right.
And so the reason why I jumped on this opportunity as being the leader and the founder of SOFA is this natural dovetailing in of this book, Junior Achievement, SOFA, what we're doing. Well, that's it. I think our message has been pretty clear today. I really want to thank you for your time.
My pleasure, Jim.
And whatever we can do at San Diego Unified, we're happy to do that. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Jim.
And thank you very much. Bye-bye.